I feel like we NBA fans have a really short-term memory sometimes, and we have forgotten just how dominant Zion Williamson can be. When he is healthy, Zion borders on unstoppable. He's 6'7", 285 pounds, just a bulldozer who over his career has averaged nearly 26 points per game along with 7 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shooting over 60% from the field. He made the All-Star team in his second year at 20 years old, and there is no debate about how talented Zion is, but with him it's always been about injuries and motivation. But right now, this latest news from Zion Williamson, this saga has no end in sight and has me pretty convinced this guy just does not care. Welcome everybody, my name is Troy and this is the Half Court Report. Be sure you click that thumbs up button and subscribe for some of the best NBA content that you're going to find on YouTube. It's been pretty evident at certain times this season that Zion Williamson hasn't looked like he's in tip-top shape. In a recent game against the Lakers, he was fatigued, he was struggling to move up and down the floor quickly. Meanwhile, LeBron, who he was playing against, 38 years old, in his 21st NBA season, drops 30 points. And recent reports are shedding some new information into Zion's troubled NBA career. Christian Clark, a reporter for one of the local papers, wrote about how Zion's lack of fitness is hurting the Pelicans. The report contains one particularly troubling detail that reflects quite poorly on Zion. According to this article, the Pelicans have, quote, repeatedly stressed to Zion the importance of his diet and conditioning, but Williamson, quote, doesn't listen. This is not a new concern for Williamson, but it is a very bad sign if that concern still persists. The team was willing to call out the star forward publicly over his work ethic at the end of last season, and Zion even publicly acknowledged that there were things he could do better in terms of diet and fitness. This past offseason, he said, "It's hard, man. I'm 20, 22 years old, have all this money in the world. It's hard. I'm at that point now because of certain things, so I'm putting people around me with that wisdom, and I just go from there." Those were all the right things to say, and there seemed to be growing optimism heading into this season that Williamson had turned a corner in terms of his commitment. There were even pictures. Do you guys remember the pictures of him from this offseason where during this workout he was just looking bigger than ever? This was supposed to be the year Zion finally proved all of his haters wrong. But those old problems have resurfaced as the Pelicans have gotten off to a middling start this season. So now we have this new round of criticism regarding Zion's work habits. But this might be as bad as it's gotten. I think we're quickly entering what could have been territory with the Pelicans. Last year, New Orleans finished with a record of 42-40. That was despite a 10-game losing streak they had in the middle of the season. They came one win away of trying to qualify for the NBA playoffs. And this year, they were bringing back the same roster, all with a year more experience, more developed, and then adding that healthy, strong, and focused Zion Williamson to that. We thought it was going to be a great team. Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Herb Jones for his defense, underrated center Jonas Valanciunas, then off the bench, Trey Murphy III, who can defend and hit the three. Larry Nance does the dirty work. Dyson Daniels, former lottery pick, no slouch defender in his own right. Rookie Jordan Hawkins, Jose Alvarado. The list goes on and on. This is a team that could legit compete for home court advantage in the playoffs. But they need Zion to be the beast that he can be. Because the theme this season, I feel like we've heard this before. Zion's numbers, they look decent. 22 points, 5.5 rebounds, about 5 assists. But for a guy like Zion with his power and his athleticism, those are bare minimum numbers. The rebounds are especially sad, and you can look at clips online where it doesn't even look like Zion is running hard down the floor sometimes. You almost never see him actually sprint, which even a lot of the lazy players will do, but Zion doesn't even do that all the time. He's going to put up all-star level numbers just because he's so freakishly talented, but he has an opportunity to be a lot more than that. And only he's the one who can decide how much he's willing to commit to making that a reality. But it goes without saying, if the Pelicans hope to make any sort of playoff noise this year, Zion has to be at his best. That's what I think, but let me know in the comments what you think about this whole Zion situation. Since you have watched this far, be sure to drop a like for the YouTube algorithm. Hit that subscribe button too so you never miss an NBA video. Scroll down to check out the pinned comment that I have. And you know what I would love to see? Zion get into Heat shape, because you hear how the Miami Heat franchise has a very strict rule for players when it comes to body fat percentage and conditioning. And it seems to work, because their newest rookie, Jaime Jaquez Jr., was drafted late in the first round, and he is playing like a top 5 pick. I did a whole video about how he fits into this Heat team like a glove, and he is quickly becoming one of their best players. Check out that video, let me know what you think, and I will catch you next time on the Half Court Report.